Ooh, pretty sunset. And check this out, the helmet power-up is useful after all. Haha! Okay, so the helmet power-up had nothing to do with that, but freezing these bats in crystal is really fun. But it can lead to a few awkward situations. Still, when you switch weapons, the crystals vanish, along with the enemies that were inside them. So while it may not be useful against a whole lot of enemies, when it does work, it is a really fun weapon. Kinda like Silkshot here. You know, my brain tells me that fire probably won't work underwater, but I still have to test it anyway. Ooh, fishy. Despite the previous ooh noise, I hate this bastard. Hey, what do you know, flames don't work underwater. Who knew? This stage has kind of dickish power-ups. Yeah, this one here isn't too bad, so long as you know what you're doing. But there's also a sub-tank in this stage, and it is an ass. But more on that later. For now, we're going fishing. The reason I don't like that giant fish is that he is basically the only real challenge of this stage. It kind of feels like they decided, well, we didn't really want to design another underwater stage, so we'll just make it basically a mini-boss fight. And not even a good one. You could ignore him and rush ahead, but then the rest of the stage is going to be very laggy. Mostly because of that searchlight there. It is a douchebag. And if you choose to fight, he is either easily killed with special weapons, or just takes too long with just the buster. But enough on that for now, it's sub-tank time. What I'm doing here is a little exploit that I picked up that makes this sub-tank less of an asshole, but still an asshole considering that this is an exploit. Let me explain what happened. Your jump height is increased when you are underwater and when you are running on a slope. By jumping right when I start to hit that slope, I can jump high enough to get up here without a special weapon. What special weapon gets you up there? Bubble crabs. You also need to charge it, so you need the arm parts as well. This is the kind of thing that really pisses me off. Backtracking is fine, but making you replay the stage you just completed in order to go back for those is a total dick move. Any other special weapon getting you up there would have been acceptable. This is where that giant fish would be if you'd let it go, by the way. But no, they had to be dicks and require Bubble Crab's weapon, so I be a dick back and exploit the game engine. Another part of that power-up that's not really fair is the fact that there is really no way you would know that you can jump on the surface of the water. There's nothing that teaches you that, you just have to know it. And that is not the game design that Mega Man is known for. But I think I've done enough ranting about this stage. Let's talk about some of the things that I like. The visuals, especially that sunset right at the start, that's beautiful. As well as about the second half of the underwater section. And then when you get inside, you're greeted with this nice vertical section. I love the vertical sections in X2. They're really fun because you have Sonic Slicer. Ugh, that came out weird. So really, any section that isn't dealing with that giant fish or that jerk-ass sub-tank, I like. Okay, it's boss time. Bubble Crab here is a fairly decent boss. You just need to know what you're doing and not run into him. There are 3 ways, okay technically 2, to get rid of his shield. One, the easiest, is jump over him. This will make him drop his shield and try to attack you. But if you jump over him, he's not going to hit you. The second way is to just shoot it. It takes a lot of damage though with your buster, so I really don't recommend that. And the third way is to use Spin Wheel on it. This will get rid of it in one shot and deal a decent amount of damage to it. I count Spin Wheel as a different method because, really, the drawback to using Spin Wheel on him is that you can only have one on the screen at a time. So there's a fairly lengthy period where you're left vulnerable, unable to fire another Spin Wheel. Fun fact, Bubble Crab is the only Maverick, that I know of, who gets more difficult during the boss rush. He gets spikes on the ceiling of his chamber. Also notice how physics just seem to stop once the boss is defeated. The water is still, and watch this. That splash should not still be there.